Welcome to Kettleers Pregame, a special edition. My name is Matt Schneidman, alongside my fellow beat writer Sam Blum. We're here at Spillane Field in Wareham. 7 p.m. start against the Gatemen. Wareham is already out of the playoffs. Cotuit just clinched yesterday, as well as clinching the Barnstable Patriot Cup. 2 straight wins over Hyannis. You know, Sam, what were your main takeaways from those 2 games? You got 20 total runs scored. The offense really revitalized after a stretch there where they went scoreless for, I think it was 25 innings.
Well, just like you said, the offense couldn't get anything going there for a while, and yesterday and the day before looked like they just had everything clicking. Logan Taylor couldn't get him out. I think the most exciting part was in the 9th inning yesterday when Mike Roberts brought in his closer Adam Witt in an 8-0 game because he really wanted to win that Barnstable Patriot Cup. He wanted to get a clean 9th inning and he wanted to clinch the playoffs, and it just felt like a nice culmination to the season yesterday. Whether or not this team makes a run in the playoffs, feels like everyone had a good time, getting that win over Hyannis after dropping the first 3 games to them. And, like you said, the offense came together, and the pitching has done well later down the stretch as well.
You know, an interesting thing we brought up, we could be seeing 5 straight games against Falmouth because as the standings are now, Cotuit would be playing Falmouth in the first round of the playoffs, and obviously Cotuit has a home-and-home pending rain against the Commodores in the next 2 days. So although both teams have already locked up playoff spots, it would be interesting to see what they could do against them in the next 2 days, maybe a little bit of scouting. And I know that we have had some really close games against the Commodores this season, a couple walk-offs at Gov Fuller Field and at Lowell Park. But what do you think the Commodores can bring to the table, and how do you think Cotuit matches up against them if we were to play them in the playoffs?
Well, like you said, there's just been, I think, 4 great games against them, and it's a rivalry. You play them on July 4th weekend both times, and you play them to end the season. So it's a fun rivalry, and the idea of playing them, after finishing off the season, then playing them in the first round of the playoffs would be really exciting. And, like you said, Mike Roberts, after that game, at home, he got into an argument with their coach, and then right after that walk-off, Grant Kay left and went on to play professional baseball. Like, there's a lot of good storylines with these teams, and it just, there's a lot riding on these next couple of games, whether or not Cotuit's in the playoffs or not. It's just kind of going to be an exciting last couple of days to finish off the regular season.
And catcher Jamison Fisher from southeastern Louisiana has left due to injury, so he will no longer be with the team. So Cotuit has picked up catcher John Jennings from UMass and also Alex Tuccio, a player from Siena. We're not sure what position he plays yet. He just got here earlier today. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, late season additions, no longer scouts here. They're basically just here to help with specialty needs come playoff time. So we'll be sure to talk to Mike Roberts before the game about those players and see what they can bring to really shore up some spots that Cotuit needs shoring up in come the playoff run, because I know Trace Barrera has been a little banged up. Ian Rice has had his fair share of injuries, so Mike Roberts always likes to have a third catcher on the roster, obviously Jennings. But we'll see what he does behind the plate in terms of switching up Barrera and Rice and Jennings come playoff time.
And, that's another important thing to note, injuries. John Norwood sat out the past 2 days, after getting, hitting the wall in a home game. And then, obviously, Rhett Wiseman's left the team. And, it was a really strong offense earlier in the season when you had guys like the really powerful duo of, John Norwood and Trace Barrera. But, those guys, like you said, Trace Barrera's been banged up. He's fallen off a little bit. So, this offense is more reliant on guys like Logan Taylor, who have, just been, getting hit after hit. Like, it's been more of a singles offense than the power Cotuit team, we'd gotten used to seeing. But you look at the bullpen arms. Adam Witt's come on as a great closer. You look at Jeff Kinley, who was, a previous closer and has now become a really reliable starter for Cotuit. So, people are starting to come into roles late in the season, and it's going to be interesting to see if, these new guys can, kind of make a seamless transition into this Cotuit team.
I think one player in the lineup we're going to need to keep an eye on is Jackson Glines. These last couple games, he really hits the ball hard. I mean, that's why they give him the nickname Gline Drives at Michigan. Last Tuesday against Chatham, he had an at-bat in the 8th inning that won them the game. He went down in an 0-2 count, came back to battle and draw a walk for the go-ahead run in a 7-6 win. And then the other night at Hyannis, it was 10-10 with 2 outs in the 9th inning, and he hit a 2-run single to center field to give them a win. Other big hits yesterday. He's been a really consistent starter. Other than Logan Taylor, really the only everyday starter since he arrived in Cotuit, obviously from Brewster, where he hit .471 before being released because he was a temporary player. But also another thing to keep an eye on today is Nick Eicholtz. 2 starts ago against Harwich, he walked 7 batters in 2 innings, I believe. Really poor start, really lacked command, but last game against Orleans on Saturday, he had 3 2/3 innings of hitless ball, improved with only 3 walks, obviously no runs, but it'll be interesting to see how he rebounds on that performance today, because as Sam said, we got Jeff Kinley as a sure starter. It seems like Vince Fiore showed that he can consistently start, Trey Wingenter at times, but for that 4th starter, it'll be interesting to see if Eichholz can really shore up the back end of that rotation.
Yeah, lastly, to finish this off, Mike Roberts made a point of saying, he's only going to throw people that he thinks can throw strikes, and that's been, I think, the main Achilles heel for Cotuit this season, at least on pitching. You look at all the numbers, Cotuit leads the league in walks by at least 40 walks, compared to second on that list, which would be Wareham with the opponent tonight. And he said, going forward, it's just going to be guys that throw strikes. And, that's why Jeff Kinley's in the starting rotation. That's why Nick Eichholz hasn't been, seeing as much time, when he goes out to the mound. So, he's going to want to see if Nick Eichholz tonight can, start to really become more of a consistent starter, more of a strike thrower. The type of player that he thinks he can be, coming from the SEC in Alabama.
Well, for the beat writers Matt Schneidman and Sam Blum, this railing did not break, so this sign is a false statement. For Kettleers Pregame, we're signing off.